morning guys, thank you for stopping by. Now, if you watched yesterday's video when I was overhyped and overexcited about the new healthcare assistant visa for home carers, you probably came back today just to hear a little bit more about the pros and cons and what exactly is home-based care. Now, home-based care is assisting the elderly or the vulnerable in their homes, in their residential setting. That means that they are elder or they are vulnerable, but they are not in a nursing home. They're still residing in their own home. Now, they may need assistance with dressing, bathing, eating, but they're still in a position where they can live at home, so they maybe still can do other things for themselves. They just need somebody who will give them assistance, or sometimes they are fully not able to do anything, but it's a family still staying with their relative at home. They are not in a nursing home. So as a home carer, first of all, why am I talking about this? Why did I decide to do this video? A lot of people applied for the healthcare assistant visa when it was rolled out in Ireland and in the UK. People rushed in, did not do their research, did not know what the job was about. They just saw this as an opportunity to move abroad. They moved with the visa and they went abroad. When they got there, they were hit with this huge shock that, hold on, I left my job as a teacher, I left my job in finance, and this is not what I expected. This is hard physically. Maybe this is trying for some people mentally as well. Now, I want you to understand what this involves so that when you actually apply for the visa, you can make an informed decision that is this for you. Now, if you have other skills, for example, if you have a degree in IT, if you have an experience in IT, this might not be the visa for you. You might actually be listed under the critical skills visa. From time to time, I do this critical skills visa, but I am going to leave you a link down below of some of those critical skills so that you can also check that out and see that your current degree, your current skill set does not align with one of the skills listed under the critical skills visa. Now that I've explained to you what it entails to be a home-based carer, here are some of the pros and cons to being a home-based carer. Now let's talk about some of the pros. First of all, it's the pay. The pay is very well paying. For this job, if you are from abroad, they will start you off at a minimum of 27,000. If your negotiation skills are good, because honey, you have the experience, you can bring that figure up as well. Secondly, you meet these amazing people from different backgrounds, from different walks of life. It is a great way to connect with people. Third, you do not have management breathing down your neck. You do not have management looking at everything that you do. So you are a little more relaxed when you work. You build amazing relationships with the clients that you work with. Absolutely amazing relationships. And you are out and about. You're not stuck in a confined nursing home or hospital setting for 10 to 12 hour shifts. You're out in the fresh air from time to time as you work. So this is definitely a big pro. I've heard as well for most home care assistants is that because the people are living at home, they are mostly independent. Because of that, you do not need to work physically as much as you would do if you were in a nursing home or if you were in a hospital. So it's not as physical. So you're not putting as much strain in your body as if you were working in a nursing home. You will be given a list. I don't know, it could be in the beginning of your shift, it could be the beginning of your week. You will be given a list of clients that you need to visit. during your shifts. So most agencies, if they're good, if they're reputable, what they usually do is they will try and put you as close as possible to each client so that you're not traveling for long periods of time. For example, if you have a car, you're not losing out on fuel. If you don't have a car and you are walking, you're not losing out on time there as well. As well can be a bit difficult because as much as they will place you as close as possible, not everybody lives as close as possible. Sometimes there is distance involved and you need to travel between these two distances. Now, let's say you're scheduled to work a 10-hour shift. When you walk there, you lose time as you are traveling between points. So sometimes for you to be able to complete the 10 hours physical work, not counting the time you are traveling, you may need to work sometimes 11 hours, sometimes even 12 hours. When you include your lunch break, that means you're working longer hours, sometimes even 13 hours, but you will be paid for 10 hours. Don't know if that makes sense. Let me explain it a little bit further. You have client, we'll call her A. You have client A here and you have client B here. You're starting at client A at 8 a.m. and you're starting at client B at 10 a.m. Now, you need to do one hour with client A. So you finish your 1 hour with client A and then you have a gap here where you need to travel to client B. Now, some agencies, not all of them, will not pay you for this hour when you are traveling. You just have to travel on your own to reach client B. So instead of working 10 hours, you're working less hours, but you are on the job, you're on the road more. I hope that explains it in detail. You're not taking enough breaks. You're not taking enough lunch breaks. You're not taking enough tea breaks. You're basically taking your break as you're on the move because you're trying not to lose hours. And you're not getting enough downtime. You're not having enough time to rest and unwind and rest properly because you're basically on the clock to get those hours. Another con is that you have to understand that you are going to people's houses. You are going to people's houses mostly alone. And although these people have put in an application and they've been approved by the HSC for you to be able to go to their home, you're still in a slightly vulnerable position when it comes, for example, to people having dementia, and then you get to the door and they don't remember that they have a healthcare assistant coming in. Client A is stuck in the 1980s, and as far as she is concerned, she is at work and she doesn't know why you are at her doorstep. And then because of that, you need to clock out and you're not able to work for the day. Some clients will pay you for the full hour. Some will say, nope, we can only pay you for, 30 minutes. That's all we can do. However, another problem is that there is the safety aspect here. Some clients, you get there, they have dementia, they don't know who you are. They may get aggressive with you. The agency will give you the tools and resources and tell you what to do if you're in this situation to safeguard your back. But this happens in the nursing home as well. This is a job where you always have to be glancing back. Speaking of being aware of your surroundings, people have dogs. You need to make sure that you make yourself known that you're coming to a residence, and you need to make sure that there's no pets around. Don't just open the gate and run in. There could be a dog and you could get attacked. Usually this doesn't happen often. I personally haven't heard of it happening before, but I've heard people say that I got there and there was a dog, so I couldn't go in. Now, if you didn't check first and you just went in, you know, you could find yourself in a very tight situation there. Now, another con is that you're working alone here. You do not have the team, you do not have the community behind you that you have in a nursing home. You do not have that team that has your back like in a nursing home. And so because of that, if you need an extra hand when you're there in the house, most of the time it's only you. You don't have anybody else to help you. What I suggest is communicate, you know, with other healthcare assistants who are, or home carers who are with your agency, just to build that community. Remember, you are in a foreign country, you are alone, you don't know anybody. Build your community, build your village. This is something that I always emphasize on. This is not the time to lock yourself up. Lock yourself up in a corner and feel sorry for yourself that you do not have any friends. If other people invite you out for drinks, other home carers invite you out for drinks, go out. What harm can it be? Go out and meet people, have fun. When you come here, this is not all about work, because if you do that, depression will come. This is the time to enjoy the country, to explore this beautiful country, the people, the culture. I'm not going to say the food because Ireland is well known for just potatoes. But this is the time to have fun, to live your life. It's not all about the work. Now, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I am going to be doing a new series just for the home carer, so watch out for that. Stick around, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.